When the NFL used to have 4 preseason games, back in the day. In fact, they used to have 6 preseason games. Could you imagine? Anyway, but a general rule of thumb was starters did not play in the 4th and final preseason game. But this year with 3, the first season that they reduced it, it was TBD what coaches were going to do with their starters. Maybe they play some of them, maybe they don't really know. Zimmer gave some clarity on what the Vikings are going to do Friday versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Guessling Strip, go. Mike Zimmer said the Vikings' plans for their starters in Kansas City will be similar to last week against the Colts. The players who played against the Colts will play again, as Zimmer said. Adam Thielen won't play, and Thielen got himself a thigh bruise early in the game against Indianapolis. So, no Daniil, no Dalvin, no Harrison, no Patrick Peterson, no Justin friggin' Jefferson, who did not play against Indianapolis. That all makes sense, right? Now, there is a 2-week break between the final preseason game and the first game of the regular season. In previous years, the last preseason game was right up against week 1, so maybe that's why coaches are more cavalier and more apt to play players in the 3rd preseason game, because timeline-wise, it syncs up with the formerly 3rd preseason game as opposed to the 4th. I know that Zimmer maybe wants to play the ones on offense to try and score a touchdown one time, just try and get some positivity going there. But overall, I don't like it. If your starters need one more drive in preseason, you don't have them ready, and that's on you and the coaching staff, man. Plus, the more that you play Kirk Cousins, the less you play Jake Browning and Kellen Mond, and the latter two are who you have the most questions about and you want to see on the field. So looking at the projected starters against the Chiefs, Kirk Cousins in at QB. Now, Alexander Madison started against the Colts for 2 plays, and then he got hurt. So it could be Amir Abdullah, could be A.J. Rose, could be new signing Ito Smith. That's right. Fullback C.J. Ham dominating there. K.J. Osborne started the game against Indianapolis with Adam Thielen before Thielen got hurt. But I think that Chad Beebe and ISM, who both played 25-plus snaps against Indy, will get a lot of time with the ones. And then offense, Irv Smith started the game. Who knows how long he'll play. And then the offensive line, Hill, Cleveland, Bradbury, Udo, and O'Neal should be good to go against Kansas City this week. And then on defense, Weatherly and Wanham starting on the edge. Now, maybe you see some Everson. Like, Everson is a vet who doesn't really need preseason, but the fact that he's just in the building, maybe shake off a little rust, could make sense. And you don't need to see Tomlinson and Pierce. Like, you saw everything you needed from them against the Colts. So, like, don't play him. It serves no purpose. Same thing with Eric Hendricks. Like, what's Eric Hendricks going to do in a preseason game? They're like, ooh, 54 is ready. No. He's fine. You're just really tempting fate. Also, let Chaz Surratt, like Blake Lynch, like Nick Vigil get more and more snaps. Cornerbacks-wise, Chris Boyd started against Indianapolis over Cameron Tiny Dancer, opposite Bashar Breeland. Patrick Peterson, like we mentioned, did not play. Mac Alexander was in the slot, and then Harrison, as well as Xavier Woods, who's been low-key dinged up. Both didn't start against Indianapolis week 2, so Miles Dorn, Cameron Bynum going to be in the mix. Josh Metellus also is dealing with some injury issues, so the Vikings are a little bit thin at safety. Wouldn't be shocked if they eventually signed a guy like Will Parks, which is a signing that's been in the making for like 17 years. Yeah, it's whatever. But I know that Zim wants to get some mojo going, especially on offense, but I say sit the starters. Just sit the starters. If someone gets abducted by aliens, God forbid, knock on all the wood, in a meaningless game to close out the preseason for no real reason, Zimmer rightfully should be crucified. And if you don't got him ready by this point, I don't know if they're going to be ready. Like, I understand it is still 2 weeks before the season opener, but nah. The main key is coming out of preseason healthy, plus let these kids who are fighting for roster spots and practice squad spots get as much exposure as possible. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead there. Beer thoughts. Some starters will play against the Chiefs in the final preseason game. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, post up in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.